Good morning, Melbourne. Bit of a buble start to the day, a bit showery too, but the rain will clear this afternoon. You can expect a top of 15 degrees today.
Oh, nothing like hearing a little bit of bubble as the Socceroos gear up to take on the world. There are other Aussie athletes that might be in South Africa, bringing our game to the world.
Yeah, they're everywhere, aren't they? Tom Steinfort follows the progress of tomorrow's AFL stars.
A cricket ground surrounded by shanties in urban Africa. It's the last place you'd expect to see a game of AFL. But this is no novelty one-off. It's a weekly ritual for these players, big and small, sizing up for battle across South Africa in this, the AFL's newest frontier.
1, 2, 3,
There are 4 games each Sunday on this ground alone. In fact, 15,000 players are now taking part across the country. To describe some of the areas the games are played in as disadvantaged would be an understatement. But it's hit a chord with the likes of 16-year-old Yanga Gakodo. He wears a tattered old Carlton jumper around the house with pride, and soon he'll be leaving his township for Australia on an AFL-funded scholarship.
So what do you think about going to Australia?
It's such a big thing, because it's a one-time opportunity that comes once in a life. And now I've got it.
The majority of the players taking up the game here are aged 14 and under. Running out each weekend, some of them are so small they could nearly tie the drawstring on their shorts around themselves 10 times. Simply having a uniform at all is a thrill. Many don't have boots to put over their socks, while some others make do playing with one shoe on their kicking foot. They also relish the food on offer, the Aussie tradition of cut-up oranges at half-time. A lot have only been playing a year or two, but can kick and mark as well as any Australian kid. And for 13, some of them are huge, an AFL recruiter's dream.
Could you ever see some of these kids out one day gracing the MCG?
Anything's possible, I suppose.
Joel Kelly's heading up the AFL's expansion program in South Africa. He used to be a development officer in the Northern Territory and says a lot of these players have the uncanny skills you see with Indigenous Australians.
So they've taken to it pretty quickly.
They seem pretty excited about it all.
They love it, and that's the thing about footy over here. It's not just the footy, it's the song and dance and all that sort of stuff that goes with it.
It isn't just the players that belt out a tune either. Umpires in Australia might be a bit more popular if they tried this, explaining each rule in song. There's tripping, high tackle, pushing, and holding. By the time the main game comes around, the players are pumped. Despite being just 16, Yanga lines up against the men and gets a few handy touches as his team dominates.
Now, the blue team's losing pretty badly at half-time, so they're drafting in a new recruit. 2 problems, though. These aren't the best footy boots getting around. And secondly, I don't speak a word of the local Xhosa language.
That made understanding the game plan pretty hard. I managed to get my hands on the ball a couple of times in the second half, but had a fair bit of trouble remaining upright.
Studs wouldn't hurt.
It seemed our cameraman wasn't too impressed with my short shorts and pasty white legs.
I don't know, it's got a pitching look.
In the end, my team got thumped, thanks in part to a few goals from Australian lad Benjamin Miller.
What do you think they adapt best to in the game?
The speed and the speed, like when they get the ball and when they want to run, they're really quick. Like I thought I was quick when I was back in Australia, and when I came here, I tried to chase this guy, and the guy just went right past.
Lots of countries around the world are embracing AFL, and pleasingly it's not expats like me, it's African kids like this that are actually taking it up.
Geez, they're having some fun, aren't they?
Oh, they certainly are. Well done, Tom Steinfort.
They look funny in those shoes.
Just slightly in the Rainbow Nation. Now, coming up, does